Hi, I'm Theresa. I'm going to show to you my solution on our bonus activity, Knights and Knaves Logic Puzzle. Here's the puzzle. There are two tribes living on the island of Knights and Knaves. Knights and Knaves. Knights always tell truth and Knaves always lie. You encounter two people, A and B. What are A and B if A says B is a knight and B says the two of us are opposite types? From that statement, we don't really know if A and B are telling the truth or not. To get the types of A and B, I created this truth table. Given the propositional variables A and B, I came up with 4 combinations for this truth table. First combination, A is a knight and B is a knight. Second, A is a knight and B is a knave. Third, A is a knave and B is a knight. And fourth, A is a knave and B is a knave. Note that I used knight and knave instead of T and F values for easier understanding. From the puzzle, we are given the first scenario, which is A says B is a knight. So, first row, if A is a knight, then B is a knight because A is telling the truth. Then second row, A is a knight, so B is a knight, same with the first row. Third, A is a knave, that means A is not telling the truth, so B is not a knight but a knave. Fourth, A is a knave, so B is a knave, same with the third row. Now for second scenario, B says the two of us are opposite types. So, for first row, if B is a knight, that means B is telling the truth, so A and B are of the opposite types. So A is a knave. Second row, B is a knave, that means B is not telling the truth, so they are not of the opposite type but of the same types. So A is a knave, same with B. Third row, B is a knight, so A is a knave. Fourth, B is a knave, so A is a knave. Now to get my valid values for A and B, I'm going to compare my results from the first scenario to the second scenario. First row, I get A as a knight and B as a knight for the first scenario, and A as a knave and B as a knight for the second scenario. Looking at the result, I have different values for A, so this is invalid. For second row, I get A as a knight and B as a knight. For the second scenario, I get A as a knave and B as a knave. You can see that A's and B's have different values, so this is also invalid. For third row, for the first scenario, I get A as a knave and B as a knave, and A as a knave and B as a knight for the second scenario. Looking at this, I get different values for B, so this is also invalid. And for the fourth row, I get both knaves for the first scenario and both knaves for the second scenario, so this is valid. Since only the fourth combination resulted to same interpretation values, therefore we can conclude that both A and B were not telling the truth, and that A is a knave and B is a knave. Thank you.